The world gets crazy sometimes. It's crazy all the time. And fellas, sometimes we just need to get away. And down south, we go hunting and fishing to get away. This is the Backroads Podcast. Let's do this. Welcome to the Backroads Podcast. Now, here's your host, Chris Hobbs.
All right, welcome in to another episode of the Backroads Outdoors, Backroads Podcast. Out here in studio with my buddy Rodney Turner. Rodney, what's going on?
Oh, nothing, buddy. Just hanging out, ready to get this thing started here.
I hear you. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the best bowmen I've ever known. He's got more than 40 years fixing bows, shooting bows, has shot competitively most of his adult young life, as he's not a young man anymore, and that would be Arlie Fortner. Arlie?
Yes, sir.
You there with us?
I am here.
All right. Any of that incorrect, Arlie? I said 40 years. I think that's about right.
Yeah, you're real close to that. I did shoot in my earlier days with PSE and stuff like that. But mostly, setting up and hunting bows, building bow shops across, all around and stuff like that. So I've been at it a good while.
Well, where did you originally get started fixing bows for people, or setting them up when they buy a new one and getting them ready to hunt?
Yeah, I kind of, we got to get way back into about 85, somewhere right around there. We was part of a store down in Centerville, Alabama called the Army Barn, and we had decided at that time at that place to bring in archery because that's what I did a lot of it. And, shot at Howard Hill and Vincent and all that kind of stuff. And so anyway, that's kind of where I started in bringing bows in. And they were very simple back then. We're shooting off rubber rests and stuff like that for the most part. And but there's still a few things to do. And then as time went through, I ended up over at Mark's Outdoors for a long time. And a lot of people remember me there and helped Mark build that archery department there.
And that's out of Birmingham, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I moved, kind of moved around a little bit and stuff. But then I spent my last, few years, pretty close into 10 with Shotgun Sports over with Richard at Shotgun Sports. And we built a super nice archery department there.
Yeah, it is one of the best in Northeast Alabama. If you want to get your bow fixed, if you want Arlie to fix your bow with the years experience you have, that's the place to go.
Yeah, we got a lot, we got a lot there and a lot, we got a good understanding. We got a young guy there I've trained. His name is Matt, and then he's coming along quite well and stuff, and I've been there a good bit. We kind of know what we're doing to get, if you want your hunting bow ready to go, we don't do a lot of competitive shooting bows and stuff like that. We just deal with hunting. And if you want your bow up going and try to figure out why it's doing this and doing that, we can definitely, make all that happen for you.
Well, and let's get into that a little bit on getting your bow set up, because we are getting in the latter stages of August here, and I know everybody's getting kind of antsy about getting bows out and realizing, hey, I got a problem. And what are some of the basic things people need to look for on their bow, and what do you recommend as far as string and cable replacement?
Well, strings and cables are not meant to last forever, and a lot of people find that out the hard way, but with a bow blown up and stuff. But a good set of strings and cables, depending on how much you shoot, was only good for about 3-4 years, and all this pre-stitch stuff, and it's gotten a lot better and they last a lot longer. But But, you know, you only have a short, 3 or 4 years of lifetime on those strings, and you need to get new ones in here. If you shoot a lot, I mean, all through the summer and stuff like that, you need to, probably change your strings and cables out. I'm going to say, at least every 2 years. And if you're like a competitive shooter where you shoot every weekend and and that's all you do is shoot, and hunt. You're into about once a year. If you want to just make your bow perform on the highest level it can, you got to. Strings and cables are the most important part of that bow. That's what makes it work, and they're also the one thing that can fail you if you keep them on too long.
I got one good question for you too. As we was talking about, we're getting older and older, and I'm losing my eyesight. What do you suggest? I hear that there are things called magnifiers you can put in the peep and stuff like that can, help with people that's losing their eyesight shooting a bow.
That's a really big deal right there, because anybody that's, in their 50s and on, you're going to start experiencing things like that. And when you start putting, magnifiers and things in your magnifier peaks and stuff, and they're usually really big. They're about 5/16, so it's a big old hole, and they've got like 7 different clarifiers you put in there, or magnifiers to find out the right one that you need. And
right.
You just screw one in, screw one out. But the good part is it's going to help you recognize the target out. The bad part is that they're only good for about 25 to 30 yards. So you're not going to get one and go, okay, I can shoot it. I can see this deer perfectly at 50 and it be clear at 20. They just don't work that good.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of times, you can do this and it helps you get through it, because keep in mind that, the high percentage of our shooting anyway, at a deer is usually 30 yards in anyway. And unless you're out on a green field, and then you got opportunities for a little bit longer shots and stuff. But sometimes you can go catch up with you. If you need glasses, go get glasses. But
right.
A lot of times these eye doctors can work with you on glasses or things, or if you can use contacts, that's always a great way. I can't particularly use contacts, but if you can, these eye doctors can work with you and sometimes have an understanding of what you're trying to do, and they can change things around a little bit, or either build you maybe another set of glasses that would actually help you with what you're doing there. So that's always an option as you get older.
Yeah, I couldn't ever get mine straightened out to where I could continually shoot my bow, and I didn't feel confident about making a ethical shot on a deer, so I caught a little slack, but I went to the crossbow, and the scope kind of helps my eye compensate for the loss.
Hey, well, and they do. And since you brought up crossbows, let's talk about them just for a minute too, because let me tell you, there's a myth that crossbow strings and stuff just last forever and ever. They don't. Crossbow strings are worse than a regular bowstring. So any of these high end, like the Ravens, the Matthews, and these 10 points and things like that, the things that they won't tell you, and it's not that they don't mean not to, is that you got to go find that information out or ask your guy when you buy them. But these bows are so high strung and at a high performance level that they only last 450, 500 shots. And, crossbow's not something you shoot every day.
That's right.
So, you really need to, about every 2 year, but I wouldn't go over 3 years in anything, and these Ravens that I see that we deal a lot with, and they're excellent crossbows. I see that, after don't go past 3 years no matter what, but most of the time, every other year, if you want to just be on the safe side, just get your strings and cables done every other year, and you just don't have anything to worry about at that point, because they're just under so much tension, and they start breaking down in little places that you can't really see until it breaks,
Yeah, and that's not you don't want to be on the backside of that.
No, that's usually they break at the worst time. Think about it when you got it cocked and you're hunting,
yeah,
and you extended it, and then that's when it's under its highest pressure. and one goes like that, it's not fun if you're sitting in a tree stand or in a blind or whatever you're doing.
Well, you sitting there explaining all that, I felt like the guy in church when the preacher's preaching and he's talking about something and it's all about you. I'm gonna bring my crossbow to you tomorrow, next week. It's past
Exactly.
3 years. I need a string.
Yeah,
You done scared him.
You done scared me.
And there's nothing wrong with crossbows. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, right now I'm dealing with a shoulder issue, and then I hunted one last year because I'm still dealing with it, and I can't really shoot my bow like I want to. So I've avoided the shoulder surgery, but I'm still going to hunt with my crossbow. But there's nothing wrong with them, and it's really a good way to get you out in the field and get into archery and stuff. So, and we carry a lot of crossbows at Shotgun Sports too. And we know our way around those, through those also. It's a whole different ball game, but it's still something that we do.
Well, that's good to know on especially the crossbow side, because I know I've got one sitting in the basement, and I probably only shot it 20 times since I've had it. So
yeah.
But I think it's getting on that 3-year period as well.
I agree.
So even though I haven't shot it much, it's still sitting under pressure that whole time.
All the time, and that's the way your regular bow is. There's really not anything you can do to relieve pressure. A lot of people mess about you can back your limbs out. Well, don't do that on a crossbow because you can really mess it up. But it's really just not. It's just maintenance. And probably the other thing, the most thing, people starting to pull their bows out and they're starting to shoot, and they haven't really done anything since last hunting season, and just shot it a little bit maybe, and it's not performing right, or they're not hitting where they used to, or their sight pin's not exactly. Well, things change a little bit, things slip. Even these the strings that we have nowadays, which is some of the best material you can get, they still give and tighten up a little bit and stuff. So realistically, the best advice I can give a bow hunter is to take their bow and have it. We have a tuning service at the store that when we take your bow, we square it back off, we level everything off. Normally put you a new D-loop on unless your D-loop looks good. Just take care of all the little problems. Take care of the little things, and you don't have big things when you're out hunting. And you just cover all that, and we level everything back up, shoot it, and make sure it's on track. And then, and that service is about $25-$30, and then you're good. And then really, it's up to you after that to go out and do all the extra work.
That's right. Well, you talk about when you first get your bow out. What realistically should a bow hunter, when he's just getting started back into the swing of shooting the bow, what's a good habit? What's a good, how long should somebody shoot a day to get ready for bow season without creating, because you know as well as I do, once you get to a certain point while you're shooting, you get tired. And that's when you start creating bad habits. So what's a good rule of thumb there?
The word right there. You just summed it up. When you get tired, quit shooting. Because when you get fatigued, and then you start gripping your bow differently, you start holding your string, you start stressing your body, and you're moving and you're not hitting your anchor point, or you're sliding in and out. When you get stressed, put it down, rest. If you want to shoot 2 or 3 times a day, that's fine. Give yourself an hour or so to rest. Pick your bow back up, shoot it some more. But going out and shooting, 100 arrows or 150 arrows, and you're not prepared for that, you're not going to really get through that, and you're not going to have quality shots. So I would rather have 20, 30 quality shots as I would rather have than have 100 repetitions of shooting an arrow. And so it's all about quality shots, and just make shots. The thing is, I see people practice all the time, and they just draw their bow back, and then they get right on target and they shoot. They don't really take time to shot, get the pin right where you want it to be, and things like that, and then squeeze your trigger off. They just slap the trigger. And the problem is, when you're hunting, a lot of times when you draw back, you've got to wait 30, 40, 50, sometimes seconds, maybe a minute before you actually get that shot. Because if you see a deer coming, you better be drawn back when he gets in your window. Because if you're not, a lot of times he's gonna bust you when you try to draw if he's right on top of you. So it's better to practice holding your bow, taking some quality shots, put it down, come back later, do the same thing, the same repetitions, make sure everything's hitting the right spot, and just make sure that you're doing everything the same way each time, and getting your consistent anchor point and stuff. That's the important things.
Well, what about because how you know that when somebody buys a bow or they get their bow tuned up, they're at a certain poundage. Oh, move that up to 70 pounds. But then after the first weekend of deer season, you'll have an influx of guys coming in wanting you to back it off because they got in front of a deer, their heart was racing, and they could not pull their bow back. Are there some things they can do at home before the season to prepare for that, what they call buck fever?
Well, they're what we used to do a long time ago. I don't know if anybody really does it now, but when we used to do all that stuff, I mean, you can put your bow down and run around the block and come up, pick your bow, or run, do a couple little sprints, pick it up, and then try to start shooting then, run around your house a couple of times, whatever. That gives you a little bit of fatigue, gets your heart racing a little bit, and it's kind of that same feeling there. But and then getting bands, you can go like to in these sports stores or even like Walmart and buy these rubber bands that you use to stretch your arms and stuff like that, and wrap them around your left hand just like you're holding your bow, and pull with your right hand, and strengthen your shoulder up and stuff, and you got to get those lat muscles, those neck muscles. You got to get everything loose and get them working in sequence and stuff, and then you're able to hold, and you're able to you shoot a lot more accurately, for sure.
Well, we're talking about practicing and getting ready for season too. I've always started on the ground, and then toward the latter part, when it starts getting close to deer season, I go to elevated practicing. What's your thoughts on that? Because I like to practice in the stand, that I'm going to be hunting out of, to where you get that feeling.
Well, I tell you my thoughts on that is, and it's hard to do all this, but if you want to be a good bow hunter, you have to put in the time. So you should never take a shot of something you hadn't practiced. So if you hunt out of ladder stands, you need to be in the ladder stand. You need to shoot on the ground some. You need to be in the ladder stand, and you need to get you. I mean, I've got like a couple of the deer that I shoot at, and so what I do is instead of putting, like, I'll put one out at 25, 30 yards, and I only put the front peg in. And then what I do every time when I get up in my stand, I go down and I shoot it. Well, when I pull my arrows out, I take my deer and I move it at a different angle.
Yes.
That angle. And then instead of having to pick up a peg and put it in the ground, just put your front one in. And every time you shoot, give yourself a different angle. Even put that angle like butt away from you. And if you think you was going to try to shoot one in the spine and the back and spining you, practice that shot, because you will see a deer that's right under you or a deer that's straight out. Normally a right-hand shooter will shoot to the right a little bit, and you really have to aim a little more to the left to get right in on the spine. But as soon as you understand where your arrow is going to hit in every situation, you'll become a better bow hunter.
Exactly.
Well, Arlie, I appreciate your time, man, and that's some great information for guys out there that maybe are thinking about getting their bows out and need some good information on practicing, on setting their bow up. Man, I appreciate all the great information.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Anytime, just let me know, and if anybody needs any help, they can bring their bows by the store, and we can definitely get them taken care of.
Well, tell them where it is again.
It's Shotgun Sports and Supply. I think it's 431 right there in Saks, and been there a long time. Mr. Richard Petty store and stuff, and I've been working for him for quite a while and stuff. And I'm there, and they've got another guy there. His name is Matt, and he's the guy that I've trained, and he's come along real well. So we've always got somebody there to take care of you if you walk in.
All right, Arlie. Appreciate it, buddy. Talk to
All
you
right,
soon.
thank you, brother, and I'll see you next week bringing my crossbow to you, bud.
All right, man. We'll take care of it. Have a good night.
All righty.
See you, Arlie. Well, that was Mr. Arlie Fortner. What do you think,
A
Rod?
lot of good information. That man's got more information than we'll ever know. I'm telling you,
Man,
he does quality work on your stuff when you take it to him.
He really does, and that's why when we talked about, doing a little bow session on the program, he was the first one that popped in.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. That's who you call.
I mean, he is really good and been at it a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he was preaching to the choir. Is what I was talking about. He's talking about when you need them strings, and I was counting back on my fingers over here. I was like 1, 2. Whoop! I might need me to go get mine looked at. I said it's gonna blow
You
up.
should have seen the look on your face.
Over here, looked like a third grader counting on my fingers. I was like, I can't. I gotta go.
3 years? What?
Because everybody's always talked about, well, if you shoot it 10 times a day and you shoot it, for 2 months, 4 seasons, get you a count up, that's not the same with a crossbow. I guess, like we talked about, it's sitting there under all that pressure year round. So it's not really about shot count. It's how long you've had it.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, look, I have seen crossbows blow up, and you are extremely lucky if you don't get hurt.
I'm telling you.
Because that, you got a crossbow that's going to, like some of the Ravens out today.
Right.
That shoot over 400 feet per second. And actually they have one out now it's 500 feet per second.
Yep.
And how much pressure is on that daggum string?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
I really don't want to think about it. I've got the Raven 20, so I don't really be thinking about that when I'm shooting it.
Well, you said next week, but by the look on your face, you're going to drop it off
It'll
tomorrow.
probably go tomorrow. I got to get it done now. And I'll tell you another thing we talk about, like, I wouldn't wait to the last minute because these people like Arlie, they get backed up. Everybody waits to the last minute to take your stuff. Go ahead and get your bow out and go ahead and take it to them, let them tune it up, and then start you practicing.
Yeah.
Don't start practicing, then take it, because then it's going to change everything.
Yeah. And another thing on that is if there's a problem with your bow, you're going to develop a bad habit to try to adjust to it.
That's right. You're going to be tuning on it.
And then you're going to realize, well, maybe it's the bow.
That's right.
And that's the first thing most people blame it on anyway. That damn bow.
That's right.
So go ahead and before you start shooting it, let somebody, if it's not Arlie, take it to your local shop, wherever you live, and have them tune it up. Get it just right. Make sure they paper tune it, and it's in so that if the shooter is on, the bow's on. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Or is the bow on, the shooter's on?
Well, they both better be on.
Both. Okay. All right. Just making sure I had that right. But I mean, it's getting time, man.
It's time, Bubba. In August.
It might be 101 today, but
I was talking to a longtime friend of mine, Eddie Kraft, just a while ago, and was talking about usually by this time we're already bush hogging, doing fields. You're already shooting. It's time to get your stuff straightened out.
Well, and that's another thing too. When do y'all? Now we're in Northeast Alabama here, and I know every area is different, even in Alabama. When do y'all in this area start planting your green fields?
Yeah, it's really different, I guess. I like the green field just now coming up when bow season starts. I don't want it already grown. I like that fresh new tender because you're going to have people with corn out. You're going to have people acorns are going to be dropping during that time, and your green fields ain't going to be touched a lot. And then your green fields will grow up and be bad. Myself personally, I want my green field the best it can be toward the end of the year when everything's gone and that's the only thing left. So I guess it's really hunter's choice on whenever you plant.
You really time it to acorns.
Yes.
Or acorns, however we want to say it.
Yeah, acorns.
Acorns here in Alabama. Acorns and then green field.
Yeah. And two, I guess, watch the weather. If you got a dry season like we got this year, the hot, there's no need in going out there and turning your fields up and losing what moisture it's in it. And try to plan at 100 degrees, you're just going to waste all your money.
So you're shooting for September.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually plan ours mid-September.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Good to know. But that is one of the big things about early season bow hunting is you got to find those trees.
That's right.
You got to get on the white oaks, and because that's nothing a deer likes more than a good acorn.
You'll leave a corn pile for sure.
They will.
They'll leave it.
And that corn will go bad laying on the ground because they're in the acorns. Well, I know we're going to talk to Lee Pitts here in a little bit about whatever fishing's going on in this heat, which I don't think there's much, but I still like to get a fishing report from him. Have you done any fishing lately?
No, I ain't did no fishing. The river's boiling right now. I don't know how Lee does it every day.
Well,
Lee's a good to talk to on anything. He's a good hunter and fisherman. He's another one that has a lot of good tips.
This coming up, I mean, he's like a kid in a candy store.
Oh yeah.
He'll go fishing that morning, and in the afternoon he's in the woods.
He's in the woods,
and he'll tell you, I can't talk to you right now. I'm heading to the woods.
That's a true statement of an outdoorsman.
Man,
he does it all.
You and him remind me a lot of each other because I've been fishing in the morning with him and then hunting in the evening, and I've done both with you as well. And and that's huge especially in turkey season.
But if y'all slept in the middle of the day while you're fishing, like me,
we have not slept in the boat.
We have pulled our boat over in the shade tree, took a nap.
Look, God, what was it? 5 or 6 years ago, we were stripe fishing.
Yeah,
and right on the outside of this creek, coming into Neely Henry. Caught some stripe that morning, but it got hotter than hell.
Yeah.
So we troll up into the creek as far as we can go, get out into the water, laid on that bank,
Had to.
that little sandy bank, got back in and moved the boat over in a shady spot and took a nap.
Out.
Got up, went back and caught some more stripe.
Ain't young like we used to be.
No, those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Well, let's see if we can get Lee Pitts on the phone here and let him give us a little fishing report. Lee, have we got you on the phone?
Man, yeah, I'm sitting here on the dove field, just kind of trying to watch what's happening and reading these birds to get set up.
Oh man, it's getting close. Smell that old gunpowder. Getting close to bird season here in Alabama. So what's been going on? I know y'all probably have not been fishing. It's 101 degrees today here in northeast Alabama, so I'm pretty sure y'all hadn't been fishing.
No, I want to tell you something I hadn't. It's one of those things where it's so hot that, it's just miserable out there right now. You can still get bit a little bit right there at daylight, but once that sun hits the water, you better back out and find you something else to do.
Yeah, and from what you said earlier, y'all are in the creek.
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine, like I said, we worked a little bit and did some things this morning, trying to work on our properties a little bit. But about lunch, we took the dogs and hit the creek out there, and just, man, it's almost like we some of them little old redneck boys you see out there. We just lay in that creek and the dogs are playing and doing and cooling off. Then we come out here and watch these birds in the evening.
Man, that's a country life right there. That's what I love.
That's the dream.
That definitely is the dream. So I take it is it next Saturday dove season opens?
I don't think it's this Saturday, but next Saturday it does open.
Okay, yeah. This weekend's the 26th, so we got 2 weeks. Little less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe it'll get it out of triple digits by then.
God, do y'all remember when we went to Wadley, Alabama? Rodney, were you with us? When we went, Lee, you were. We went to Wadley on that dove hunt.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It was this hot.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that.
I think Wadley, Alabama is the hottest place in Alabama.
I believe that. Yep.
Jesus, it was cold. I mean, hot. Excuse me.
I mean, that was, I think that's the hottest I ever been in my life.
It's nothing that you can do to stop it either. I'm telling you, it just burns you up.
And then let's say we killed 1, 2. We didn't kill any dove.
1, 2 in.
Did y'all even shoot? Because I didn't even shoot. Lee, did y'all shoot?
No, I didn't. And really, what I was going to do, and I hate it because I know we were down there, working, but there was a creek that ran through that in the backside of it, and I thought, hey, man, I'm accustomed to a creek. I know where to go to lay in that thing. Get killed off. So that's what I should have done.
Yeah, we got put in the wrong spot because I think I heard splashing about 2 hours in, and those guys on the other side of the field were taking advantage of that that was a beautiful creek running through there, but God almighty, look, when they showed up with that cooler full of ice cold water, I mean,
Yeah.
that I can't tell you how happy I was to see that water because I was dying.
Man. I could have laid in if they had a little kiddie pool. I'd laid in it.
That was crazy. That's the hottest dove experience I ever had. But so y'all gonna hunt dove out there on your buddy's place?
Yeah, we're going to get out here, and like I said, that's what we're trying to do today. Just kind of, you got to do your homework. I don't care if it's deer hunting or fishing or bird hunting. You got to do your homework. So we're out here just seeing where they're flying, what the angles are, how they're coming in, and where they're going. So that's just, and I think it's more or less we can say that is our strategy and what we're doing, but I think it's more or less a Southern thing. You just go out there. It's a social deal. Everybody sits out there in the fields and watch where the birds go.
There you go. Now, how do y'all cook your dove?
Man, I tell you what I love, in which I marinate them. Once you clean them, marinate them in a little bit of Dale sauce and some water, and then wrap them in bacon and put them on the grill.
That's
the
it,
best
baby.
way I know to do it.
Rodney, is that the way you do
Oh,
yours?
yeah. You put bacon on a turd needed, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
What is it about bacon and turds?
I'm gonna tell you
I
right
keep hearing
now.
about that.
Tell you put bacon on anything, but the dove just tops it off.
Oh,
Put
man.
you some jalapeno in it.
Yeah. Now that'll give you a little more kick to it.
Yeah.
I like that. Jalapeno.
Give that turd a little more kick.
Get a little kick with the jalapeno.
Oh, man. But look, man, I'm just itching to do something else. I am tired of this heat. I got my shotgun out the other day, and I was just playing with it. I know that's probably not real smart, but I knew it wasn't loaded. But I just holding it, and like when you go buy a new shotgun and you whip it around in the store and you shooting at the lights in the store.
This gets everybody started because you got a gun in your hand. You're in the woods. You're finally getting you put your camouflage back on. You're shooting something. A Southern boy just wants to kill something and eat it. That's all we want to do.
Bingo. That's exactly right. hey, you nailed that one right there. That's
We just want to kill it and eat it. That's all we want to do.
It's like, hey, my whole season's already made right now. Hey, taste this.
Exactly, brother.
Look, if you go by Lee's place on the water on Weiss Lake during hunting season, you probably more than likely going to see
some smoke,
see some meat hanging somewhere over.
You know what? Hey, what's so bad? And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, man. I still got I got a bunch of redneck in me, and you come by my place, there's one strung up in a tree somewhere. Okay.
That's what God made a tree for.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Hang
right.
one up and damn go whittling on it.
Exactly.
Look, man, I have no words.
No.
I really don't. I'm just ready to get like Rodney said, get that camouflage back on and go out and shoot something. Because look, I didn't fire a shot during turkey season, so my old trigger finger's itching.
Lee, it ain't because I didn't put him in the spot, so I think he was asleep, son.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that he wasn't in the right place.
Okay, we're gonna go there.
He didn't have the right attitude.
Okay, Lee, he puts me in a spot and he tells me, "Hey, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to call for you. And I said, okay, great. So I sit down in my spot and I'm waiting. And I sat there, about 45 minutes. All of a sudden, kablooey, right behind me. I turn and look. There's turkey running everywhere. Here he comes with a big shit-eating grin on his face. And, and I just know what he's done.
It done walked past you. You didn't even see it.
It did not walk past me.
What happened was he didn't want him to spook you.
Exactly.
So
I didn't want it to bother you. You was taking a nap.
Yeah.
No respect.
In my blind, Lee, in front of my green field, full of clover, just turkey shit everywhere. I mean, that's where they go every time. I don't know what happened, buddy. They just
he snuck up behind me, and Rodney didn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna let this turkey go," because he's probably going to that field now.
Well,
hey, turkey, bam!
Well, let me say one thing. That tells you a great intuition on where they are going to come from. So that's where he set up. Okay, so that just tells right then he had the outdoorsman intuition of what was going to happen, and he set it up just right.
So what you're saying is he screwed me and set himself up for himself.
Well,
so I got screwed in that deal.
The big one would have come from would have been your way, but the majority came his way.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, I'm gonna put it out there. That stand that he was in's a decoy for all the other guys in the hunting club. They think I'm hunting in that thing, so they all hunt there, and the turkeys never come to that field. They always back there in the back. But it looks good. I've got sticks set up, blind.
Yeah.
My former friend Rodney. That's just wrong.
But I mean, sometimes you got to work as a team.
Yeah.
Take one for the team, baby.
There's I in that team.
Yeah. But you were very productive.
But I took him by the quick store after we left, got some fried chicken.
Oh, man. Yeah, I had some kind of yard bird that day for sure.
There you go. That makes it all worthwhile.
At John's, right up there. I know you've been to John's and got some of that chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Have you put got the chicken and put that sauce they got on it?
Yep.
That hot sauce.
Jack's calls that the comeback sauce.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it is a number one, buddy. Yes. I start thinking about that chicken about halfway through the hunt.
It ain't working. Let's go.
I'm eating a Snickers bar thinking about that chicken. I go, I'm eating this Snickers bar sitting out here in the woods and I could be having chicken.
Well, it's the style of chicken that your grandmother made. I mean, people don't do that no more. Throw it in that grease and deep fry it.
That good breading on it. Everything is thick.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't change the grease for about 3 months. I mean, it's got all the flavor.
That's got to be what it is.
Yeah. You got the flavor from the 3 before that.
Exactly.
I tell you what now, it is something different in the South. It's something different in the South. When we go and all of a sudden it gets hunting season, those little places that you find out of the way, the little places that got them little, we cooked 20 pieces this morning here, there. I mean, if you can find you something around your hunting club or hunting area that you can go in and get with these people right here that have the tenderloin biscuit or the bologna biscuit.
Oh, they got it too, man.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's what makes hunting season.
Yeah.
Look, there's a place in, where is it, Gordo?
Yeah.
We drove through there, and they've got chicken gizzards that out of this world, my friend. God, they're good.
I'm not a big liver or gizzard man, but there's a place right up from where I hunt that during the day you can go and buy a box of gizzards.
That's what we do.
Oh my God, that is so good.
They are.
That is the best thing when you're out there deer hunting and you're at your cabin. You may have freaking rats running across the floor, but this is good. This is good.
Exactly.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. That boy good. He
Good.
Everybody wants to go with all these big name restaurants, and we out there, you better close your eyes when you buy the food. Just get outside.
Yeah, just see how good it is.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Hey, you want to go to John's right now?
Yeah, I can go right now. I love so much chicken.
Look, if you're in center Alabama, and you don't mind getting off the beaten path, John's Crossroads has got some of the finest fried chicken you'll eat.
Fried bologna sandwiches in the morning.
Oh, they got great biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, they have not done like everybody else in America, your Jacks, your Hardee's, your McDonald's, and all this stuff. They have not downsized those biscuits.
No.
It's still that big old biscuit. It looks like a catcher's mitt.
Big old cat head. Cat head biscuit.
Yeah, that's fine eating.
Yeah,
it really is. Well, look, Lee, I know you and Pat there are taking it easy, and man, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day and talking to us. And we'll get together in next program and see where we are.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm just sitting here. We got my dog, his dog. We're sitting here in the corner of the field watching birds come in. It ain't nothing better in the South right now than getting ready for it, you know.
I hear you, brother.
We're all fixing to do it. It's fixing to happen.
Yeah, I'm ready. Rodney's ready. I'm ready. Everybody's ready.
Sit there and crack you another cold beer up. There you go.
I'm fixing to. I'm going to go get me one.
I hear you,
we're about to get one ourselves.
I'll go get one.
I hear you.
Thank you, Lee. Talk to you later.
Guys, Rodney, talk to you next week.
Hi, buddy.
All right, buddy.
See you.
Bye. Well, Rodney, appreciate you coming down.
Oh, yeah, man. Love it.
Man, we'll just get together in the next 2 weeks and get a game plan formulated for dove season, and then we'll come back and do another program.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank y'all for listening. We really appreciate it, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
See ya.